When you first start playing a Snowrunner, you're probably ready for an off-road experience, and you may believe that all you have to worry about is dealing with rough terrain. However, there are other unexpected things in a Snowrunner that might turn into a nightmare for you, like stomps in a Snowrunner. When you accidentally drive over a stomp, it's like a guarantee that you're gonna be there for the next 10 minutes just trying to move. Getting stuck on a stomp is one of those annoying things that could happen to you in this game, especially when you're pulling a trailer. And sometimes the stumps are even hidden in some bushes or something like that, so you can't even see the stump. Something else that could be a big threat for you are these red signs around the map. Normally you can just push them away and continue with your trip, but Lord helps you if you get stuck on them. They literally glitch out and destroy your truck. And there are not many things that you can do when you get stuck. But the good thing about the signs and the stumps is you can avoid them. But something that you cannot avoid, and it's always against you, is the transmission in a Snowrunner. The transmission in a Snowrunner is like when you wanna maintain your speed. For example, you don't wanna go any higher than 3rd gear. The transmission makes you to go to the 4th gear and go a bit faster. Or when you wanna go a bit slower, it just shifts all the way down from the 4th gear to the 1st gear. Like you wanna slow down a bit to go around the corner. For example, you're going 40 miles an hour and you want to go 30 miles an hour. Well, there is no such a thing as 30 miles an hour. You have to either go 40 miles or 10 miles. There is no in between. You have to be in the 4th gear or in the 1st gear. And it's the exact opposite when you're driving in mud. When you wanna keep your gear in the 2nd gear and, for example, go 20 miles an hour, the transmission is like, nope, we have to shift to 3rd gear and go faster. So you're always fighting with the transmission all the time in a Snowrunner. Something else that you always have to fight it is the lack of grip, especially when you go a bit fast. So you thought going through some deep mud or snow is difficult? Try going fast on tarmac. I would say it's even more difficult. Controlling your truck when you're going fast, because I guess the grip doesn't exist in a Snowrunner, is very difficult. When you go fast, your truck just starts sliding around and drifting, and it feels like you are driving on ice. And it gets even worse when you're pulling a trailer. Now, something else that is against you when you're going fast is the damage system in this game. Now, damage system in a Snowrunner is very funny. When you're driving on some paved road and you hit like a piece of branch, it deals damage to your suspension. And sometimes it just completely destroys your vehicle for driving over some bumpy surfaces. But on the other hand, you can do these kind of things in a Snowrunner without taking any damage. Now, we have a kind of enemy in a Snowrunner that you don't need to fight it, or it's not against you. This one more betrays you. So we have two kind of trees in a Snowrunner. The ones that are strong enough and you can easily use them as a winch point, and the ones that you can use them as a winch point, but they are weak, and instead of them helping you to get out of mud or something like that, you're just gonna pull them out of the ground. Now, there are two very bad things about these trees. Sometimes you're at these locations that there are 17 winch points, but you don't know which one is the strong one. And even more disappointing, sometimes none of those 17 winch points is a good one that you can actually use. And the other thing is, sometimes you're about to tip over and you try to save your truck by winching to something. And because you have to do it very quick, you cannot manually select the winch point that you want. So there is a high chance that you winch to one of those weak trees that is not gonna save you. And last but not least, something that is there to just get on your nerve is that unbreakable tree in Imandra. That tree is just there to prove the point that Imandra doesn't really want to give you a break. You know, this road is one of the only roads in Imandra that lets you to drive in peace, but not for a long time because of this tree. Now, you have two options when you get to this tree. You can drive over it if you have a truck that has good ground clearance, or you have to drive around it through this deep snow area. Now, this obstacle is not that big of a deal, but it's a fun, unique thing that they added to this road to make sure you're not having an easy time. And that's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.